Hello children, today we will be starting bases and alkalis. You can see these photographs. There are drain cleaners, laundry detergent, lubricating grease, alkaline batteries, soaps and bath products, baking soda. All this contain the base as well as alkalis or base or alkalis. This is the concept map. In short, what all we will be learning from this video. So bases and alkalis. You can see inside the big circle there is the small circle. So you can understand from this that all alkalis are bases, but all bases are not alkalis. Now bases are metallic oxide or hydroxide or ammonium hydroxide which react with the acids. As per the modern definition, base is a substance which can gain hydrogen ion in a chemical reactions. Now if you go to alkali, you will be finding that soluble bases are called alkalis. These also react with the acids. Now there are two types of basic bases. One comes from basic oxide, another comes from basic hydroxide. Again, all basic oxides are not the bases. These are the learning from this video. Now what is a base? A base is either a metallic oxide or a metallic hydroxide or ammonium hydroxide which reacts with hydronium ions of an acid to form salt and water only. This is a very important word. If you miss out this word in the definition, you will be not getting the marks. Why? You will understand in later stage. What are the examples? Copper oxide is a metallic oxide, magnesium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, aluminium hydroxide. These are metallic hydroxides and these work as a base. Now these are the reactions between base and acid which will give you salt and water only, no other products. If you see copper oxide, it will give you copper chloride which is a salt and water. Sodium hydroxide reacts with acid to give you sodium chloride and water. Magnesium hydroxide reacts with sulfuric acid to give the magnesium sulfate and water. So now basic oxide. In these three, one is basic oxide and these two are basic hydroxides. Now what is a basic oxide? Basic oxide is a metallic oxide which contains the oxide ions and reacts with an acid to form salts and water only. So this is very important word. Now here copper oxide is the basic oxide. Now this is again a very important statement which I had shown you in the summary slide. All metallic oxides are not bases. Why? Now take the example of lead oxide. Lead oxide reacts with hydrogen chloride to give lead chloride, chlorine and water. So here you have the salt, lead chloride and water. But along with it you have chlorine also. So since lead oxide gives you chlorine other than lead chloride and water, so this cannot be satisfying the characteristics of the bases. So lead oxide is not the basic oxide, though it is the metallic oxide. Now what is basic hydroxide? In the previous slide you had already seen that there are basic hydroxides also which are categorized as the base. So a basic hydroxide is a metallic hydroxide which contains the hydroxyl ions and reacts with an acid to form salts and water only. Again this is the important word. So the examples are sodium hydroxide, aluminium hydroxide, etc. Now the example is given over here. Very easy equation is provided over here. You can learn this equation very easily. Now what is alkali? Alkalis are bases which are soluble in water. These turns lead litmus blue. Bases also turn red litmus blue. These form hydroxyl ions in aqueous solutions as only negative ions. So the definition is, an alkali is a basic hydroxide which when dissolved in water produces hydroxyl ions as the only negatively charged ions. Examples are sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, ammonium hydroxide. So these are also called, sodium hydroxide is also called caustic soda, potassium hydroxide is also called caustic potash, calcium hydroxide is also called the slaked lime. Now these first three are the strong alkalis, and this ammonium hydroxide is the weak alkali. Now why these first two are the strong alkalis and the last two are the weak alkalis. Now why these first two are the strong alkalis? Because they are completely dissociated. They are completely dissociated in the aqueous solution, and the last two are weak alkalis because they are not completely dissociated or ionized in the aqueous solutions. This we will learn again in due course of time. Now this is the dissociation. Now this sign is very important. This is the reversible sign for dissociation. So sodium hydroxide in aqueous solution gives you sodium ion and hydroxyl ion. Similar for potassium hydroxide and similar for ammonium hydroxide. But from this equation you cannot say or cannot understand whether these are completely dissociated or feebly dissociated or ionized. Now another important statement is, all alkalis are bases but all bases are not alkalis. Why? Because you know that the bases which dissolve in water are called alkalis. So FeOH whole 3, that is ferric hydroxide, and CuOH whole 2, that is copper hydroxide or cupric hydroxide. These are bases but not alkalis because these do not dissolve in water. Thank you. We'll continue with the next part in due course of time.